Coach, great to be with you today. Thanks for having us in your office, man. You got some nice digs here, man.
And so they say. It's pretty good.
First fall camp in the books. How'd everything go? How'd you assess? Did you see what you wanted to see from your team?
Yeah, I saw improvement, tremendous engagement from our guys, a lot of intentionality, tremendous competition. Guys learned how to respond the right way, learned how to practice the right way. For us, foundationally, how we practice has an opportunity to be a competitive advantage. And we have to value every opportunity when we go on that practice field, the work, the respect for the work that's got to take place. And as I tell them all the time, it takes what it takes to be a dominant football team. It takes what it takes to be a physical football team, to be a disciplined football team, to be an accountable football team. And there's no way to practice in ease and comfort and get better and play tough and physical. So you gotta put the work in, and so our guys gotta have a game rep mentality, and our guys are learning the value of that. And if you ask me honestly, are we exactly where I want to be yet in that regard? No, we're not. But as we reestablish the standards of Oklahoma football and what OU DNA deeply means to all of us, there's a lot of things that we've had to walk our guys through, show them how to do it, demand that they do it, and then reinforce that every day. But our physicality, our mindset's got to go to a whole nother level. And if that's a championship, mindset, if you will, then that's what it looks like, in describing what it looks like. But the football field's got to be our sanctuary.
Seems like it's a process. You start, you get your staff in place. Coach Schmitty, you go through winter conditioning, get your coaches stations. Spring was probably, I'm guessing, just a little taste of that. Then you hit that hard summer, and then it seemed as if getting a chance to watch a little bit of it, kind of hit them hard as far as what the expectation is. Each process along the way, did they raise their level to what you were hoping?
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of our guys and our coaches, and our strength staff, the players, the buy-in, what the commitment that they have during the course of the summer. And you could tell from the moment we got back together in fall camp, the level of commitment that these players had throughout the course of the summer. A lot of player-run meetings, installation with film work, player-run practices. They took the baton, man, and they ran the race to win during the course of the summer. Really focused and driven, hungry, engaged, as opposed to just going through the motions. And it's so easy to just show up and go through the motions, whether it's the weight room or in the film room or player-run practices for coaches and players alike. And so creating a different mindset is what it's all about. And our leadership on this team has just been outstanding. That doesn't happen just on its own. And when we couldn't be there, it's been really evident all throughout camp that our players have put a lot of work in on their own. So this is a team that has finished 7 straight years in the top 10. This is a team that's won 78 games the last 7 years. They expect to win. How we might do that might be, slightly different. The things that we emphasize, again, we want to have a great team this year, but most importantly, we're really trying to establish a great program that has longevity and sustainability, thinking about the long ball, in the long game, as opposed to the short term. And so we feel good about, the progress that we've made, programmatically, the things that we've developed, the staffing. We've doubled the size of our staff from what we were previously, and we had to do some things from a facility standpoint so that we can house people. They have a place to call home. I think that's important. And then again, reestablishing and reinforcing all the standards of our program, what the foundation of our program is, what it's all about, what the vision of the program is, and very clearly define that for our players, our staff, our coaches, certainly our fan base, and to create the buy-in that we need to be successful. So again, love the cohesion and the chemistry of this team. The players will tell you it's a close team, and that's fun. You can still be successful, but I think you can be dysfunctionally successful if we're not promoting, family and togetherness, and nurturing the concept of team and family. I think that's what it's all about. For us to tap into the greatness that's in that locker room, I think that's an important part of the process.
Best teams are close-knit. They're tight. They're together. I feel like that's the way it was whenever I was here playing for you back in the day. And I've had a chance to talk to some of your players. Like, it's genuine. Like, they seem like they're closer. And I feel like you guys have done a great job with different ways. You push them hard, but you love on them even more. And then things like the weigh-in. Like, you guys are finding different ways to make this fun and at the same time bring everybody together. So just maybe talk about that, the different ways your staff and you have tried to create some almost event-like things to make it fun and really bring everything in together.
Yeah, so obviously the grind for anybody to be successful, there's a lot of work that you got to put in. And say it all the time, you don't put championship rings on smooth hands. You got to put the work in. It's tough, it's demanding, it's challenging. There's failure along the way. It can be discouraging. But there's nowhere in the blueprint does it say that you can't have joy in the doing. And that's really, it's a foundational piece of who we want to be. Thoroughly enjoy the journey. And it's exactly that. It's not the mountaintop experiences. Those are just moments. And you want to celebrate moments of success, moments of improvement. But to me, you want to embrace all of those moments that are in between, because that's what shapes us and defines us, things that we'll remember forever. And so I don't want any of us to lose sight. It's really not the goal of holding the trophy, of the actual win itself. It's all the doing that we get so busy with, that we're infatuated with, that we're passionate about, that we're intense about, the things. That's what we love to do. We're all pigs in the mud when we're in the middle of it. And we got to make sure our players have perspective, the coaches maintain a perspective, work hard, play hard. However, there's got to be an innocence to it, and that's one thing that I'm attracted to from a collegiate perspective, that maybe you see sometimes in the NFL it becomes all business, and I don't want to be that way. I want to be a connected, intimate, relational, a forever program, relationships with our guys, and Team 128 is developing that identity. And again, I don't want to lose sight of the success and the wins along the way, but finding ways to make things important. We talk all the time about strength and conditioning, and that's where you develop toughness and the discipline and reinforcing those standards every day, thousands of times a day, that you get to do that in that petri dish of the strength and conditioning program. And so that's an opportunity for us to, we talk about the important, but let's celebrate all the work that y'all put in. Let's have some fun with it. Let's bring the juice. Let's bring the energy. Let's be vulnerable. Let's, some ways, kind of be silly. It's okay, That's okay. Be transparent, honest, and connected. I think to reach the hearts and the souls of the players, you need to be able to be willing to do that.
Love that. Now let's talk about some of the football. Camp, concluded, getting ready for game week. I know you guys are fired up and excited. I mean, who got the better hand of who? I mean, if we had to just say offense is here, defense is here, is it pretty even? Does somebody have the upper hand? Are you happy with where each of the sides of the ball is right now?
Yeah, I think, it really didn't come down to, who has the upper hand. Really, again, remember now, this is a 6-month journey now that we're getting ready to sign up for, give or take. And it's important for us to equate where we're at right now. Did we invest every day? Did we have a daily focus? We talk about that on we have it plastered on walls, a lifestyle of improvement, a lifestyle of now. And did our players, our staff, were we committed to a formula for success? We talk about that all the time, and it's really focused on a daily focus on improvement, where we prepare or practice with purpose. There's got to be effort with technique, and there's got to be an all-in commitment to doing our best. And so as we prepare for the season and put one in front of the other. Well, did we do that? And so I try to quantify that. And we had one day that I was disappointed in the focus of both the staff and the players. One day that I didn't feel like we showed up and gave our best. And we addressed it, and our guys responded, and really felt like incrementally, sometimes more than others, that we got better from the beginning to the end. And so that's my expectation now. All right, here's where we're at on all three phases, and here's the things that look to be areas of focus and need and improvement that we need to really be diligent and work on. And then are we going to get better from UTEP to Oklahoma State? You know, and there'll be some ebbs and flows along the way, but my expectation is that we're going to improve from the beginning of the year to the end, and that's going to be the focus, and it's going to be a weekly focus. And as we've said, you know, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. That's how you improve and get better, is just focus on one day at a time. And so that's our formula, and I like where we're at. But I'm not satisfied. Sure. You know, you always want more. And I want our players hungry that way as well. We've got a gazillion things to get better at.
Right.
And whether it's pre-snap, post-snap, everything in between, fundamentals, technique, pad level, consistency, you know, route running, force angles to the football.
Can always be better.
You know, everything. And we really do need to keep getting better. To me, we're a shell of what I hope to be by the last game of the year, and so now we got to be committed to developing the team, you know, moving forward.
Based off fall camp, maybe just some names. I heard you mention Billy Bowman has really impressed you defensively on that side of the ball. Maybe some guys that you felt really took that step that are really primed and ready for a big-time season.
Yeah, I mean, Billy had an outstanding both spring and especially summer and fall camp. He has made exponential improvement. His understanding, his patience. He's playing really fast, sure of himself, confident. There's a whole bunch of other guys that I could throw in there, but I do think that you're going to see the best version of Ethan Downs and Reggie Grimes, and you know, Jonah's new to the group, and you know, people know about Stripling, but our Mason Thomas, freshman from down in Fort Lauderdale.
That's a get off.
Yeah, he's twitchy, he's long, he's explosive, but he's wiry, strong for a young guy. Not real big yet, but you know, plays big, and plays with a great deal of intelligence, and comes from an excellent program, back-to-back state champions down at Cardinal Gibbons, and so really excited about, you know, his improvement and development. We got a battle at safety. With you know, Billy and Broyles and Key Lawrence and Justin Harrington, amongst others. Really feel good about that group of guys, and Harrington can play multiple positions. He'll play some cheetah for us. Love the trio of David and Danny and Deshaun. I really like that trio, and got some good young guys coming up. And Shane Whittier, he had an excellent spring and fall camp. I really like, you know, how he's trending. And then we got Canick, and we had TD, unfortunately. I just hate it for him. Tore his bicep a couple of weeks ago. Hate it for any young player, but man, he's been through a lot. But he's going to help in, you know, another capacity, and he'll do a great job as well. But really like that young group of linebackers, and Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie and Jaron Canick. And then, you know, Jake McCoy is a guy that can get out there and help us as well. Cornerback, we had some guys that were banged up, had some concussions and a hammy, and some guys missed some time, so we're going to have to really try to help them grow up here during fall camp. But we do have some new players in there between Jaden Davis is playing his best football right now. Woody is playing really good. We know about DJ Graham as well, and I'm excited about Josh Eaton, and he's been playing really good. Davis has had a really good camp. I mentioned him, and Dennis as well. Had a great interception in the spring. But we got some young guys in Rowe and Gentry Williams, and C.J. Colton's a new guy, Kenai Walker. So some of those guys have been missed a little bit of time in camp. We're getting them back here this week, though, that we need to really help them grow up. So a lot of those guys can potentially play multiple positions. So kind of named most of those guys other than the D tackles. I like the group of D tackles. They got good maturity to them. I'm hopeful that Jalen Redmond will have his best season yet. And then Kelvin Gilliam's a young guy that, man, he's on the come up. He's graded really well. He's high energy, high motor. He's still refining his game, but the things that we've seen from him. And then Grayson Halton from San Diego. He didn't get here till the summer, but man, he's got some natural ability. I think he can help us rushing a passer, and the more he plays, the better it seems he's gotten. So those are the defensive guys. Really love where Zach Schmidt is as a place kicker right now, and he's had a really good camp, and we're snapping the ball with consistency. And Turk is a monster, and the things that he can do, he's a real weapon for us as well. And then offensively.
You like the offensive line? I
do.
Tell.
Yeah,
you're fired up about it.
It's a really good group. Between Anton and.
Some people thought something was wrong with Anton. You had mentioned a bunch of O-linemen, and everybody was kind of freaking out. My phone was blowing up. Is something wrong with Anton? I'm like, no, I think he's just fine. But I know that offensive line group, you've been really pleased with their physicality.
Yeah, between Wanye and Anton, Tyler Guyton, Jacob Sexton, and then we got 5 guys inside that we really feel, have a chance to be really good. We're really excited about that group of guys. So we've moved Savion back inside as well, and he's been a pig in the mud inside, but it's had good cohesion and good continuity. And again, I think that we're going to keep getting better there too. But they've been good. They've got good cohesion, really good leadership there, consistency. McCade has been a veteran guy that you've been able to put in there and just add tremendous value to a good, strong, young unit in some ways. But they've grown up quickly through the spring and the summer. Love our tight end group. Really like just 2 great leaders in Braden Willis and Daniel Parker. Same thing. I love our running back group. Eric Gray and how he leads. Marcus Major, and he's healthy and he's been consistent. He can run through trash. Runs well behind his pads. And Tawi is right now is probably that 3rd guy, and he had a great spring, had another really good fall camp, and same thing. He's runs really well behind his pads, and Javante Barnes and Gavin rounding that thing out. Our quarterbacks have been still battling it out, but led by Dylan. He's been a model of consistency, tremendous accuracy, decision making is really good, and very natural for him to, in this system, feels very confident and comfortable. We've got to keep him healthy, but between Davis and Booty and Nick Evers, really like that group of guys going into fall camp there. So wideouts is a position of, again, we feel like it's going to be a position of strength between Mims and Stoops and Weiss and Farouk, and then you add some good young players and Nick Anderson and Jaden Gibson. Really like the growth between LV and JJ, and then Gavin Freeman. That's a group of guys that have really added tremendous value to our receiver corps. So probably left a few guys off of there, not to cause any alarms, but it's both sides of the ball. Like the maturity and the focus of this group. Again, hunger. Very competitive. They want to be coached. They want to be held accountable. They're going to be no matter what, but when they allow themselves to meet, that's when the real growth can happen and the improvement can happen faster, rather than slower. So it's exciting. We've had, a really productive camp.
Love it. As thorough a breakdown of the roster as I could have ever asked for. My last one, you've been waiting a long time to have the opportunity to lead your team out on the field for a real game. I kind of asked you a similar question for the spring game. It's real against UTEP, and you're going to have a stadium that's going to be into a frenzy. Just thoughts on that emotion leading Team 128, your team, onto the field, and then maybe just the last thing for the fans. You've called upon them many a times, and maybe one last time with me. What is your expectation from them, not just against UTEP, but each and every Saturday when you guys take the field?
Well, again, I think it's a mindset for everybody. It's one thing for us to. It's been 22 years since we've won a national championship. Winning is really hard. Winning consistently is even harder. To have a program that's sustainable and has great longevity it doesn't just happen. It doesn't happen by osmosis. Everybody has a role. Everybody has a part. Creating a very intimidating environment for the opponent, a very passionate, intense environment that shows appreciation as opposed to expectation. We all understand what the expectations are, to play high-level football, to win and win a lot. But to me, that's a byproduct of doing things the right way, that people are proud of. It's a total fan experience, and everybody plays a part in creating this amazing environment. There's game day people that do. There's a field crew that's amazing of what they do to. I don't know how they do it because we practice on the field a lot. There's the ops that go behind it. There's a lot. It's the band. There's so many things that go into it, and you're never going to please everybody. Everybody's going to have complaints and whatnot, but when that ball kicks off, man, it's got to be the vision is the most passionate, intimidating environment in all of college football. And to me, that's a choice. For an individual player to play with uncommon, relentless effort, that's a decision. For me to coach with passion and intensity and love for what I do, that's a focused intention. And so I think that everybody, again, I say it all the time to the players, for us to have the kind of season that none of y'all have ever experienced, okay, then we're going to have to do things that we've never done. And, okay, when they list all the most intimidating stadium environments in all of college football, where are we? Okay, and all I would say, just like I tell the team, we write the book, we write the script, we decide how it's going to be read. But it takes a lot of focus, a lot of intention, a lot of work, a lot of purpose. You have to be present in the moment. We all been there. Like, you can either be one of these fans right here waiting for something bad to go wrong, or you can be the guy wait like this until something good happens, or, man, you can speak it into existence and show up and, man, just bring energy, enthusiasm. That's what I try to do every day. I'm high on life. I love what I do. Come to the game day, man, I love to show up on game day and cheer my team on and support them in any way I can. Doesn't mean I always agree with everything, but, man, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be engaged from beginning to end. I'm going to get my money's worth. And for us, man, we got to put a great product out there. Our guys got to play with great effort, man. They got to play together. They got to play with toughness and physicality and discipline. We're going to try to do the little things right. We're still in the teaching stage right now and how we do what we do. And but everything matters. And so we're taking accountability on this end, which we should and we need to and we will. And everybody else does too. And as we transition this program from the Big 12 and soon to be in the SEC, all the eyes are on us right now. Nobody's waiting. We're not trying to wait to be great. And I would challenge everybody else, don't wait to be great. Don't wait to create the best environment in all of college football. It affects the game, and it affects all the recruits that we're trying to get here when they come here to have this unique, special, uncommon experience, okay? And we know there's a lot of great environments. And so that's a very competitive space that I want to promote and nurture. And so music matters, timing matters, good football matters, all of it matters. And but I would just say don't have any expectation, like speak it into existence and show up and make it happen. That's what I would say.
You got a helmet? Because I don't know if I have any eligibility.
Hey, and for me,
I'm ready to go, man.
No, that's good.
Me fired up,
no,
man.
That's good. In due time. But I'll just say this for me, for team, this is about Team 128, and this is about. There's been so many amazing coaches and players that have played here. For me, it's a responsibility to meet the standard, and that's what my expectations are for myself. I'm not going to make any plays. There's no magical calls. Put our players in position to be successful, train them up, and turn them loose. And so, will it be cool, the first game and all that? Sure it is for somebody. But for me, it's another opportunity to go compete, to go lead, to challenge our guys to play their best, to meet the standard of best. And that's what I want for our players to do, and all of our coaches, to meet the standard. Like, everybody show up and give their best. And if you do that, man, you can live the results.
Love it. Thank you so much for the time, Coach.
Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Coach.